Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to start our questions related to labor. Actually, this chapter, labor means the workers who are directly or indirectly working at manufacturing concern, you are responsible to pay them in shape of their wages. Now, their introductory lecture is different. We have already discussed several things regarding uh, payment of wages. Some of them was very clear. We can pay their wages according to their production. This is called piecework rate system. And sometimes you are paying according to hourly rate system. So if you are paying wages according to hourly rate, what you will do, you will see how many hours a worker had worked and you will multiply it with per hour rate. This is simple way to pay the wages. And if you are paying your wages according to piecework rate system, so what you will do, you will see how many pieces are piecework rate system. In this method, you will see how many pieces one worker had made and you will multiply by per piece rate. In this way, you can calculate wage rate according to piecework rate system. To understand it, very easy. If some worker per day had worked for 8 hours and you are paying him 40 rupees per hour. So what simple is this? You will multiply it with 40. Hours worked 8 per hour 40. In this way you can calculate his wage and that would be 320 rupees. In the similar way, if he had manufactured 100 pieces and for each piece you are going to give him 10 rupees. In this way, you can calculate your wage rate, which would be 100 multiplied by 10. So total wages 1000. That's the simplest thing with which you can pay your wages to workers. Workers are directly associated with production. In offices or in financial accounting, we don't have such concepts. Only in management accounting and cost accounting, we do see that workers would be paid according to their level of production, according to their level of working, according to their level of hours they have worked. So when a worker is taking wages according to pieces, number of units he will manufacture and per piece rate would be decided, multiplication, and then we will get wages. In the similar way, if per hour wage rate has been given, that means time rate method. So we will notice how many hours a worker had worked and will be multiplied by per hour rate. In this way, we can also get the wages. So this was the basic introduction, but there is a separate introductory lecture. You may watch it as well. Now we are going to start 9.1. This is first question for labor. We are going to pay the wages according to the standards which is set in the question. And you can see the heading is clearly mentioning that we will pay per piece rate. How many pieces some worker will made, and we will be paying according to the pieces made and per piece, which we have seen over here. How many pieces somebody had manufactured, and there will be a rate according to per piece, and we will multiply both to get the wage rate. All right, now let's start reading of it. Introduction. Standard production time per piece is determined 48 seconds. Please read it again. Standard production time per piece is determined 48 seconds. One thing I would like to share that there is no particular format to solve this question. There is no particular formula to solve this question. There is no performa to solve this question. So you will have to design your question by yourself. Whatever methodology you want, whatever lines or format you want, you can make. Okay, you are free to do that, as there is no particular and fixed format for labor questions. Now please read it. Standard production time per piece rate is 48 seconds. So we will go to in our childhood where we usually use unitary method, and we will use the same unitary method over here as well. Now it has been said that time in seconds is said and pieces are mentioned. It has been said that 48 seconds one worker will take to produce one piece. Please read it again. What we have done, standard production time per piece is 48 seconds. Same we have written over here. So now next procedure is to take how many pieces one worker will make in 1 hour. This is our standard. How many pieces one worker will made in 1 hour. For before that, you just answer me how many seconds are present in 1 hour. Question is very simple. How many seconds are present in 1 hour? As we know that in 1 minute we have 60 seconds, and total minutes in 1 hour again 60 minutes. So 60 multiplied by 60, 3600 seconds are present in 1 hour, but we don't know how many pieces would be made. So normally in our 4th, 5th standard, we used to put X, which is unknown. When you will complete this whole procedure, but you will get how many pieces would be made in 1 hour. Now cross multiplication, X would be multiplied with 48. We will have 48X. Better to write X on right side, and is equal to sign, and what would be on right side of your statement. X is multiplied with 48, then 3600 would be multiplied by 1, so we will get 3600. Next 48 is being multiplied with X. When you want to take it to the right side or opposite side of is equal to, sign would be changed. Here it is multiplied, then it would be divided. So what we will get, 3600 is already present on right side, and we are taking 800. We are taking 4800 from left to the opposite side. Okay, so it would be divided 48. And what would be left on left side of is equal to, only X is equal to. And let's take the next step. Since statement is completed, we can write 3600 divided by 48. What we have got, these are pieces we have calculated per hour. So it means these many pieces, 75 pieces would be manufactured. 75 pieces would be manufactured. I was actually willing to make little space. Okay, that has been done. Again, more space is needed. Okay, here we have calculated 75 pieces would be made per hour. Please make your mind clear. We have set a standard of production that within 1 hour, one worker should make 75 pieces per hour. In the similar way, we will again do another step, time, and then our pieces. And same which we have written above. In 1 hour, you can write over here time in hours. So in 1 hour, this is showing what? Pieces per hour. In 1 hour, you are manufacturing 75 hours. Here is 1. In 1 hour, you are manufacturing 75 pieces. So hopefully you have understood what phenomena we are using. We'll go back to the question. During 40 hours, output of workers is like that. There are two things we have concluded, that workers have worked for 40 hours. There is one another activity we can done, but before that, look over here. Standard hourly rate is 33.75. So both we can use. but since we have started it, so let's see what we can have. During 40 hours worker output is falling, so it means we need to know how many pieces can be made in 40 hours. This is given in your question. Again listen, in first part of the question what you have calculated, in 48 seconds 1 pieces were made, in 1 hour that means 3600 seconds how many pieces we can make, and we have assured it that 75 pieces must be made in 1 hour. And now what we are doing, in 1 hour if 75 pieces are made, how many pieces would be made in 40 hours? Again the same procedure. X would be, there will be a cross multiplication, x will be multiplied by 1, we will get only 1, and on second hand 40 would be multiplied by 75. Next we can calculate it, 40 multiplied by 75. So in this way what we have calculated is, in 1 hour 75 pieces were made, how many pieces? So we have calculated pieces, but these pieces are per 40 hours. So in this way second calculation has been made, and we need to put like here. Let's settle it because few of the words were missing. So what we have done, we have made 300 pieces per hour. This is second conclusion we have made. First, in 1 hour 75 pieces are made. In 40 hours 3000 pieces are made. And now we will be looking for the next procedure which is related to this 33.75. Hourly rate is 33.75. So here per hour rupees, per hour rupees somebody is getting, and per hour pieces we also have in our mind. Let's make little more space. So we have two conclusions. Per hour rupees, this is given in the question. As you know, standard hourly rate of the worker is 33.75. So per hour wage rate is 33.75, and per hour pieces we have calculated 75. Now next would be very easy to do. For one piece, how much amount worker will get? Hopefully you have understood. If in 1 hour you are getting 33 and in 1 hour you are required to make 75 pieces. So in this way we can calculate our rate for one piece. For one piece how much amount would be taken? Again cross multiplication, x would be multiplied by 75. So we will get 75x, and then what would be on right side? If x is multiplied by 75, you have put over here. 33 would be multiplied by 1, we will get 33.75. Now next is simple. 75 is being multiplied with x. You want to take it to the opposite side, it would be divided. So what we have, 33.75 was already present, and you are taking this 75 to the opposite side. Here it was multiplied, and when you will take to the opposite side it would be divided. So now statement has been completed. What you can do is to calculate 33.75 divided by 75. So we have 0.45, and let me know what this 75 is. Hopefully somebody will give the correct answer. That what was the question? If in 1 hour 75 pieces are made and in 1 hour you get 33.75 rupees. So if a worker had made one piece, how much amount would be made? So there we have calculated amount per piece have been calculated. So These are the conclusions which you will have to make in each and every question related to labor. In this way, our third calculation or third conclusion has been finalized. Now we will use them for calculation of wages of our questions. Let's go back and you can see there are four workers A, B, C, D. So what you will do here, you will write your workers and then their wage. If we are facing any sort of loss and if we are giving bonus to workers, and what we will do finally, we will sum up everything, wages, total wages and total bonus. So wages we will calculate for worker name A and then B and then C and then D, as there are four workers. For their wage rate, let's go back and see. It has been said that wages of the workers are computed under piece rate system. So everyone would be given uh, per piece. There are two ways to calculate, but let's proceed. But time rate earnings are guaranteed. Here, this word is very important. Time rate earning means all workers have worked for 40 hours. It means they will be receiving their amount of wages according to hours. Look at here, time rate earnings are guaranteed. It means the worker who will work for 40 hours, he would be paid according to the rate. And rate is mentioned over here. Standard hourly rate of the worker is 33.75. So in other meanings, every worker would get its wage 40 hours they have worked, and per hour is mentioned 33.75. This is according to time rate method. Every worker will get the same wages, 40 multiplied by 33.75. So first worker, and in the same way second worker would also be receiving, he had worked for 40 hours and per hour is 33.75. So as it is, this next worker would also be receiving same wage, and for fourth worker he would also be receiving the same wages. In this way we can calculate the total of wages which some worker had received. Total were four workers, and here when you will calculate the sum, it means total four workers have received amount which we will calculate right now. So we are going to take sum of these four workers. So in this way, this 5400 is total amount of wages which workers will receive. Go back to the question and you can see that half of the question we have solved, 5400 is the amount of wage rate. But now we will conclude that at what stage some worker had lost the production and some workers would get the bonus. How would we decide? This is very important. Please focus upon here. 3000 pieces must be made in 40 hours. Okay. So now to calculate the loss, we will be taking little more space so that you can understand what we are going to do. Little more space is needed over here. Okay. Standard production was given in the question and we have calculated as well. Standard production is 3000 pieces must be made in 40 hours. So here we have set the standard of 3000 units. Now we will see only 3000 is needed. Now we will see how many units worker A has made. A 2800, put 2800 over here, and B worker has made 2900, put 2900 over here, and then C worker has made 3000 units, put 3000 over here, and then fourth worker, that means D, has produced 3200. So put 3200 over here. Now you will decide how we have lost our production and we have how some worker has produced number of unit more than that of standard. Standard was fixed above 3000. So it's easy for you now to decide that number A worker, the worker whose name is 8, it's a loss. Loss of how many number of unit? 200. And then again there is a loss because standard was 300 and worker B had produced only 2900. 100 units were lost. Here there is no loss, and yes, there is no loss over here, but the worker D had produced even number of units more than that of standard. So he deserved for any bonus of 200 units. Now what we will do, we will calculate amounts of these bonuses. First we will calculate amount for lost units, and then we will calculate amount for bonus as well. So these two factors would be similar and we will calculate their amounts. This is very simple. The loss which has been described is in terms of units, and per unit we have calculated. This is so important. Now you can understand why we have set these three standards. As you can see that it was already been decided, per piece rate is 0.45, and here we will calculate how much loss we have beared. For 200 number of units, one unit price is 0.45. Look over here. For 200, what you will do, 200 total amount multiplied by 0.45. Please note it down. To calculate the amount of lost unit, we will be putting 200 number of units and per unit rate is 0.45. In this way you have calculated the loss. And again you will calculate the loss for 100. For that what you will do, 100 were number of units and you need to multiply per unit rate, which was 0.45. Please note it down, and in this way you have calculated the loss as well. No loss for third worker, no loss for fourth worker. Total loss now we can calculate. How much? First was 90 and then you need to add 45. So this way total loss has been calculated and total wage is also calculated. Next step is to see how much bonus we can have. Amount of bonus would be calculated over here, and this part would be a separate portion where you will calculate the amount of bonus. First worker would not get any bonus because no extra production was made. Second worker, no extra production, so no bonus. Third worker, no extra production, no bonus. Only fourth worker will get its extra. Fourth worker had produced extra units, so it will get extra amount as well. Again, calculation of amount is similar. What you will do, you will have to calculate the amount of bonus. 200 pieces were made. Every piece will get 0.45 as rate has already been decided. Per piece rate is 0.45. How many number of unit made? 200, and it would be multiplied by 0.45. Please note it down. In this way you have calculated your amount of bonus as well. So now let me know, this was your lost amount. Obviously you will not paid it. This is your lost amount, and this amount would be paid. Amount of bonus would be paid and amount of lost unit would be beared by the company. And what we have done, this is our amount of bonus paid. We need little more space. Okay. Amount of bonus paid, how would be calculated? This is your number of units. You can write number of units and amount. Number of units which are made additional or more than standard were 290 rupees is your amount which would be paid. So in this way, bonus amount is 90. Now we will conclude our question because everything has been calculated. And how would you conclude? Total amount which is paid by the company. Total wages paid would be standard wage which was according to time, and you need to add if any bonus has been paid. In this way, you can calculate your total wages. Standard wage was this. Each worker will get 33.75 per hour, no matter if they had produced number of units less than that of standard or more than that of standard. Each worker will get fixed rate or guaranteed wage of 1350 per person. Total 5400 in this way you have paid, and then you need to add bonus. Bonus amount was 90. So in this way, total wages have been paid. We can calculate 5400 plus 90. So we have got 5490, which are our total wages. In this way, this calculation has been completed. The only thing left is 5490, you can see, is your answer. Total wages earned by the workers 5490, and what we have calculated, total wages paid 5490, standardized 5400, and 90 extra payment. This 135 we have lost because workers have not worked according to standard. This is not payment, these are lost amounts, lost number of units, or lost amount 135, lost number of units were 300. Now second requirement is also present in your question, distribution of wages earned. Out of this 5490, how much loss we have beared? As you can see, the loss is 135. So second answer is also visible over here. Total wages you have paid 5430. Total wages paid are 5490, and loss faced is 135. So how much balanced wage, how much balanced wages we have paid? Balanced wages. For that, what you will do, total wages were 5490, out of which 135, amount of 135 were lost. This way you can calculate your balanced wage. What you will do, 5490 minus 135. So this amount is 5355, and this is mentioned over here 5355. So three answer 5490. We have calculated 5490 and then 135 and then 5355. All three answers are available for here. Okay, question no doubt has been completed, but you can see we have started from here. Look at the solution. There is no performer, there is no format, there is no table, and we have just seen the question, and according to question what was required, we have just constructed or designed our question. So in this way, we have concluded our question. I'm requesting you to please repeat it for 2, 3, 4, 5 times so that you can understand it well. But even then, if you have any query, if you have any problem, if you have any question about the solution, you are very open to ask these questions. I will surely be available instantly to answer your queries. For the time being, our lecture time has been ended. Question is completed 9.1. Surely we will be meeting for the solution of any other question soon. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm requesting you to please pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.